Hey there. So, again, just kind of came across a new piece of gear that I didn't see anything on YouTube about, and I thought I'd do a quick run through. This is the Peavey Addverb. I think it's the first one. I guess there were several that were created over the years, but this is the one that I guess started the whole thing. So, anyway, really basic stuff. So you got your input over here, level input, and you can see basically a little indicator there. You got your mix, wet and dry, and then your output volume. So there aren't a whole lot of interesting knobs with this particular fella, but so you have 99 patches. You can basically navigate through those patches. Most of them are fixed, like you can't edit them. And then there's oddly enough, I guess the middle ones, I think it's like 50 or so on. So like for example, if you do 49, which is in the reverse category, you get various reverse reverb effects. Reverb is covered throughout all of these. So the way this is kind of just figure this out. Honestly, this is the way it works. Is reverb covers all of these. So all of these are some form of reverb, and then this, of course, the 50s are for chorus, flange, delay, echo, and special. And only the ones between 50 and I think 70 or so can actually be edited. The rest of them are all pretty much fixed. So for example, let's go to a basic reverb. So just type in like say 0, 1, right? And 0 is bypass. So if you have it on 0, you get nothing. So let's just go with 0, 1, and now we're in a reverb. So you hit the parameter button, you get an error. So if you're a new owner of one of these and you're thinking, oh my God, there's something wrong with it, it's actually just says that normally. Another thing for anyone who, say, gets their hands on one of these or currently owns one and hasn't done this, there is a battery inside these, and it's one of those classic rechargeable barrel batteries with the 3 pins. It's very standard. The batteries run between 10 to 15 bucks, but they do explode acid and will leak acid if you don't change them out in time. So this particular unit I bought did not have a new battery in it, and it did have acid that leaked a little bit, but I was able to save it in time and replace it with a good battery, so now it is back in action and it managed to survive that fatal problem. Now the good news, I guess, is also that if the battery is bad and say it did do some actual damage to the area where the battery would be seated properly to ever work again, it will default to standard patches, and you can pretty much get by with all this. So most of them are hard set, and if you take the battery out, you flush the memory, it'll just restore all the standard settings. So with that said, so running through a few of the effects here real fast. Let's see, it's just kind of give you an idea. I'm holding this while I'm playing, so I can't really play and do a whole lot, but it's got some really good reverbs. I definitely found some of the settings to be pretty good. You've got plenty of, they give you enough variety. Even though you really can't edit any of the reverb effects, the reverbs are all hard-coded into this. You get a pretty good variety that would pretty much cover all the things you'd need. You got the nice hall-type reverbs that have a nice sustain. And you got some that are very much like you're in a very small, compact, reverberated room. So, of course, you got your gated reverbs. You can hear how it kind of comes in there, 35 or 36. Moving over to your reverses, which of course these are also pretty cool, and actually kind of hard to find in a lot of devices, even newer ones. You get a true reverb, so reverse. So so you go into the choruses. Right. So these are actually some of the ones you can take them really slow. All of I guess the defaulted ones all have a really high like LFO rate, which I think is kind of interesting. But you can certainly slow it down. Like this one is literally set to like LFO rate. This is the one I've got set to a faster rate, but not a lot of depth. They've gone to 51. So, and it is stereo. It's stereo in, stereo out. I've got it set up currently for mono, so I just got it going. But here, if you want to get it to editing, so the way you would edit a patch is pretty much this. You go to let's go to one that's editable, which is I guess gets into the 50s. Yeah, because you go to 49, error, but 50. There you go. So there are 4 different parameters that can be edited, but I've noticed that essentially all of the patches that are editable are either chorus/flange based, which only let you affect the LFO rate and the LFO depth. So you do this, you hit the parameter button, and it goes to that one, goes back and forth. And then when you get into the delay ones, like in the 70s area, you can only affect, so you can change, you can only change the left and right delay length. So in other words, there's really just a single echo with some, I guess, tapering off. So you'll see here, for example, let's get out of this again. Let's go to the, well, we'll go to 60s real quick just to show you the flange. There you go. So as you can hear, it's got a bit more of a bite to it. They're really, you know, again, there's just depth and rate, so you don't really have a lot of ways of like feedback and things like that. They don't seem to offer those as parameters, but honestly, I don't really miss them all that much, and I think it just, the character of the actual delay makes up for that, so, you know, for basically simplicity. So going into the delays, you can see here, so now you're in this one, you go to parameter, now you got delay left and delay right, and these are your values. So you can see I can slowly change this number down. I don't really know what the actual increments of time are because it doesn't feel like it's milliseconds, because for example, this is, let's just start with 24, right, or whatever. So there. So, you know, that's really fast. So it's very, very, very micro, you know, adjustments of the delay, which is pretty cool in terms of for a precision element to it. So, you know, it goes ways down, and then so you just get parameter, change that one. So that one's 3000. So you can do some really interesting delays where the delays themselves, you know, are perhaps really. See, that's interesting. Like 22. Maybe this is, I guess it is, you know what? 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Yeah. All right. So it is just 1-to-1. So that's cool. All right. So moving on. Let's see. So you got your echoes and special. Honestly, I've really not looked that closely at what the special ones are about. But I think they're just kind of like hybrids. So I go to 99, for example, or let's go to 90. So I think they're basically things, there's just another variation of different settings. The manual does explain what each one is and does give the specifics of what the parameters are of each, so you can always check that too if you're looking for anything in particular. And it is online. I was able to find that very easily. So yeah, anyway, so that's basically it in a nutshell. Yeah, I like it. I just kind of got it because it was, you know, it was a pretty good price, and I've always been a fan of the older Peavey gear, like the Peavey SP sampler, which I'm a big fan of, and this guy below, which I will actually make a separate video about because it's its own beast and very cool. Kind of in the same vein of the sort of Digitech RDS generation of delays. So, but this one actually can do some things that are actually way cooler, and I've got some experiments I want to try with it that that I need to just have to set up and do some testing before I make a video about it. But anyway, all right, thanks for watching.